Good morning. Today is Sunday the 17th of September 2023. This is Flosstube number 2. Welcome back if you are a returning viewer, and a very big welcome if you are a new one. I am Lizzy from Cheshire in the UK, and here we go. I've got some PHDs progresses for you. I've got some haul. I've got a couple of beady finishes. I can do a little teeny tiny life update because there's been a major change in my life. And I've got a little giveaway as well. So there we go. So I'll start off with the PHDs. Now normally you wouldn't get this many PHD updates, but I am a member of Semi-Sane Stitches on Facebook, and there is a monthly challenge, well not challenge, an event that they're doing. This month it's Go Stitch, so there is a wheel with the letters of the alphabet on it, but there's other little things like there's a wild space and there's a consonant, pardon me, that is also on the wheel, which actually came up the other day, so that's one reason that there's so many PHDs for you to see. So the way it works is, if a letter comes out, if you've got a project that starts with that letter, but it doesn't include things like a, and, the, so those are kind of ignored. So say one of the ones that came out was V. So I've got Victorian Fan. So I worked on Victorian Fan. But A came out. I don't have any with A. So you yell Go Stitch and you do 400 stitches on that project instead of 200, unless you're doing the insane version, which is 400 stitches on the letter if you've got a PHD, and 800. At the moment I don't have the time to do that, so I'm sticking with the normal same version. So like I say, more PHDs than there would normally be, but most of them have literally got 100 stitches in them because the consonant you only had to put 100 stitches in. So that's what I did, and I managed to do 9 projects in 24 hours, which is a lot for me. So there we go. So right, let's get started. So first thing, this I hadn't actually started this last time round. I was about to start it the afternoon that I spoke to you. So this is the one I'm doing with Jeanette, and this is the Embroiderous from Erica Michaels. So you can see how far I've got. Next time I do a video, this will be finished. I will be working on it again later on today, but this afternoon I'm off to Haydock for a bead fair. So I will have beading haul if anybody is interested. Not very well prepared today, am I? There we go, that's what it's going to look like when it's finished. So I'm really enjoying it actually. Oh, and I'm using sulky threads. Get them the right way up so you can read them. Down that way. So I'm using 2 sulkies, and my fabric is vintage corn silk from Lakeside Linens. Now I understand that Lakeside Linens is really hard to get hold of in the UK, but this piece of fabric has been in my stash for donkey's years. And it doesn't show well, but it is a really, really pale yellow. It's lovely, but it really is not showing very well at all. But there we go. So that's the first PHD. I put 400 stitches in that yesterday for Go Stitch because I didn't have a project with, I can't remember what letter it was. So I've also done a fair bit on Flea Market flowers. Don't have a picture of this one. I've not printed out the cover picture, Sorry, my board fell over. So I've had a fair bit of progress on this. Well, not a fair bit, but a decent amount. I've had a play with editing, so hopefully there will be a picture somewhere around here of how it looked last time. Keep your fingers crossed I can do it. I did figure out how to do it, but every time I inserted a picture it ended up right slap bang over my ugly mug, which I don't really want. So I think if I do a split screen, then it should come up at the side, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So that was Flea Market flowers. So that was one of my constant continents. I'm not going to keep saying that because I'm just going to keep mucking it up. So Victorian Fan came out to play a couple of times because, as I say, letter V was drawn. So it's that one there. So I'm doing that. So I'm actually quite pleased. I mean, I know it's mostly border, and you know, I kind of tried to pick projects that when I was doing the continent one, I tried to pick projects that I could quickly do 100 stitches in to get as many in as I could. So there's how Victorian Fan is looking. Mostly what I've done is border, just added in border. I have actually really enjoyed working on this again. So I'm kind of hoping that later in the year, when I've got things done that I need to get done, one of which I haven't even started, it's a Christmas present, that I can get back to this and maybe cross it off my PhD list. That would be nice, because I've got far too many. At one time I used to spend my weekends, I'd pick one, work on nothing but that, and then pick another one until it was finished, and it actually worked quite well for me. So the next one that's come out a couple of times, because P was called, and then it was part of the, I'm just going to say CC because it's much easier, was Peacock Cipher. Again, I will try and insert a picture. And I'd forgotten how nice this is to work on. Now I did look, and this is done on a piece of Sparklies, no idea what. It came out of the oddment box that she has when she goes to shows and things. So, but I have added this peacock, all of this round here, and I've started that border underneath. But like I say, hopefully there will be a picture for you. It's not this pale. It is reasonably pale and it's more blue, but it's showing us, there we go. If I do that and block the light from the window, you actually get a far better accurate idea of the fabric colour. This I am working in the called for silks that were a gift many moons ago from someone who had started it in silk and then discovered that she was actually allergic to the silk. And at the time she was my floss mum, so she's like, do you want them? Yeah, okay, fine, I'll have them. So she sent them me over. So my next one that was worked on for CC, don't forget these are in no particular order because that's too much like hard work, is my sunflower. It's an old DMC kit that you can see I paid the grand sum total of £2.99 for. Probably bought it at one of the shows from one of those ones that, you know, sell off old stock. But it's a sunflower, what can I say? So this is one. Got the grand sum total of 108 stitches added to it. Pardon me. So basically this bit here. Again, I will try and insert a picture. But that might be something that I do later this afternoon when I've been to the bead fair. I haven't been to a bead fair for ages. I think I went to one in 21 when they first of all started opening up again. And I had to take my grandsons with me, and I had my mum with me. But yeah, long time ago. So next is Mermaid. Again, she came out twice. And I had a heart attack one day, showing this to my other half. And look at the picture of her, like that, yeah? And she's over on the right hand side. And it didn't click until I was showing my partner and working my way through my charts, because the way I'd done them, it's just not the way I would do them now. And I suddenly realised that she's on the left in the stitching, and I'm like, have I made a mistake? Have I got my charts the wrong way around? And realised that actually it's the picture that's the wrong way round. I nearly showed you the back. There we go. Again, just to get the stitches in. Put it that way. It's actually that way. This is the right way, but so for my, when it was called as an M, I finished off all these little bits down here, and then when I did my CC bit, I did the box at the bottom, because that is exactly 100 stitches, which was quite handy. So like I say, I wouldn't normally have so many PHDs to show you, but never mind, it's been fun. Obviously this thing goes on until the end of September, so my next one will have more than normal in it. Normally I would say you'd probably get 3 or 4 projects to look at, because of my working constantly on the commission. I'll get to that in a minute. Not very happy with that at the moment. So my next one was ink circles, cirque de triangles. I've done cirque de cirque, and I did it on Sparklies, sparkling sunflowers, cirque de cirque. Can't remember what I told you I'd done it on, but it was sparkling sunflowers. So this is a custom die that she did for me, because I wanted something bright. Ooh, someone just fell over. And if I tip it like that, again, you might get a better idea. It's still not showing as bright as it really is. So I did this here for my 100 stitches, and I actually did 101, but you know. So there we go, that's cirque de triangle. All in black. It's an easy stitch. I don't know why I put it down, to be fair. But some days you work on something and you love it, and then another day you pick it up and you're like, oh, what am I going to do it? That is a 28 count Brittany fabric, by the way. Let's say it was a custom die for me. Normally, given a choice, I would work on 32 count. So the next one to come out to play for CC was my colourful giraffes. I do love a giraffe. I do. And I've actually got a tin and for stitching supplies. My daughter gave it me for stitching supplies for Christmas last year. And it very nicely had some fudge in it, which was promptly half eaten by my grandsons, because they love a bit of fudge, because you know, Granny introduced them to fudge. There it is now. So for my 100 stitches, I filled in the nostrils of this one and did the little black bit underneath. So there we go. Speaking of giraffes, the day after my first floss tube, I took my second youngest grandson to Chester Zoo for the day, and we spent a lot of time looking at the giraffes, and because he was as fascinated with them as I am. So there is a reason I only took him and not his brother as well, but his dad had taken his brother to Ireland for the day, so he didn't feel left out. I took him just to Zoo for the day. One of the hottest days of the year. And he fell asleep while we're in the queue for an ice cream. So, but he had a lovely day, which is all that matters really. So my next one was Cross-Eyed Cat's Labyrinth. I don't have a cover photo for that because I bought it as a PDF and I don't tend to bother printing out the cover picture. So there we are, there's that one. Again, if I tip it, you get a pretty good idea of the fabric. So for this one, for my 100, oh, I was actually quite good with this one, 121 with this one. I filled in the gaps on this part of the path, and then I started another part of the pathway. This was a birthday start, and again I think this was a Sparklies solitaire. I did look, but I can't remember, and I didn't write it down and drop it in the bag with the other projects. Silly me. It was looking through all my projects was kind of like, oh, what can I pull out? What can I pull out? And some of them were like, I can't do that because there's no way it'll take me too long to do 100 stitches. So, another one that came out to play for both the Go Stitch and the CC was Quaker Book. And I'd only done, I think I'd only got that flower done. It's had sort of, I would say, about 450 stitches added in total to it. So I'm quite pleased with how it's coming on. I need to finish this down here, which is 4-sided stitch, which is what forms the spine of the book. I've got to figure out hem stitch, but this is only the second page and I've got another 4 or 5 pages I think to do before I need to worry about that. So I'm not going to panic yet. Another one that came out that would have been worked on anyway this time was You Came Out, so I worked on my underground trains. Eagle-eyed amongst you may well spot a mistake. Just lately I have been plagued, and I mean plagued, by the frog. Everything I've stitched, I've had to unpick something at some point. The biggest one being the commission piece, and you'll see that in a minute. I cried with the commission piece when I discovered my mistake. I literally sat and cried. But there we go. And I don't know what it is. I am being absolutely plagued with a little bugger. So this is going to have to be fixed at some point. We went fishing last week. My partner fishes. I just sit in the countryside and enjoy the peace and quiet and the ducks laughing at him. So I did some more of the grey and I did all of the arrows. So I've got another 2 to do. So I'll be cracking on with this because this is due to be done by the end of October. I didn't fill these windows in because I can't find the grey. It'll be around somewhere. It's not in my main box and it's not in my extra floss box, but it'll be around somewhere. So it won't take me long to fill those in. So that's my trains. Now, the commission piece. There we go. See it? See that there? All of that section had to come out because I can't count. Just here. See it just there? There's one single stitch there. And what I'd done is I'd done that bit. I'd done done the gap and a single stitch. Then I did another gap and another single stitch. which threw all of that out. So I basically added in 2 rows. And I was working on it, and I'm coming down here, and I kept thinking to myself, I'm sure I counted that, did that green line up to the end. Why am I having to do an extra 2 stitches? And it wasn't until I'd filled in all the little sort of gap stitches, because it's mostly one colour, and then there was all these little odd bits and gaps. If don't know if you remember, well, I'll put a picture up. And I come round and they just wouldn't line up, and then I realised what I'd done, and I did, as like I said, I sat and I cried. I was absolutely devastated. It took me a week to unpick it, because I have some sort of arthritis in my hand that means I can't do too much. Well, I can. It's hard to describe it, but I'll come to that in the life update. So I've had to undo all of it. So I sent the guy a message yesterday to tell him about it, and he said, don't beat myself up about it, which to a degree I am, because it's my own fault because I can't count. And then he said, make sure I charge him for the time because it's my livelihood. It's a paying hobby, it's not my livelihood, but I thought that was really nice of him. But I think I'd feel bad if I actually took him up on that, but I'm sure I'll sort something out with him. Excuse me. Right, so that is all the not whips. I don't know why whips popped out, PHDs. So, as you know, I do bead weaving. So, since my last video, I have finished 2 projects. One I can't show you because it's a Christmas present for one of my girls, and my girls watch these. So, my plan is, once all the Christmas gifts are done and Christmas ornaments are done that I gift to family and friends, I will just do a short video of those, and then I can post that after Christmas. So if you want to watch it, then watch it. If you don't. Fair enough, you know. So another one I finished was this. I did this basically because I've had the kit for years, and I need some fireline. I'm running out. So the next gift that I'm making, I need fireline for. So I didn't run out of it and end up twiddling my thumbs for a couple of days. I sat and did this. This is Moroccan keychain, and it's a spellbound kit that, again, I've had for years. Now, I don't know what happened, but I had to do the tassels slightly different because I didn't have enough of some of the beads, the speciality beads, and this is one I dug around in my stash to find so that I could finish it. And then I put a little 2023 charm on it there. So something I finished before I started the Christmas gift that I can't show you. I did this, which is the polar bear igloo. Drop it on the floor, why don't you? This is a pattern from Thread a Bead here in the UK. Again, 2023 charm on it. And just see a little polar bear peeping out the door. But if you look inside, you've got the Christmas tree by the fireplace, and you've got a couple of a polar bear that's sort of just come. No, he's not just come in the doors round there. I'm not sure what he's doing, if he's placing a present or something. There's a window, and then you've got another polar bear there. He's the one that you can see peeping through the door. And another window. I do like threaded bead patterns. They're pretty idiot proof. So this is part of the Christmas village, but I haven't done the Christmas village, so I've just, and I don't really want to do the Christmas village, not least because I've got nowhere to display it. So I put a hanging loop on it, and that'll go on my tree. And while I was digging that out of my pile on my beading desk, I thought, oh, I'll show you that as well. A sunflower star. I do love my sunflowers. There's a bell. I've done the bell. And I've done the, as you can see, I've done the star. And I did the bell and the star one after another. And there's an angel as well. But by the time I'd finished this, I'm like, as much as I love sunflowers, I'm a bit sunflowered out. So that's not going to hang anywhere. I have a bowl that I put all my stars in. Maybe one day I'll show you all of them. If you'd like to see them, let me know. Right, so haul. I don't usually have very much haul, to be fair, but Jeanette and I went to Create Nostalgia, so I have haul. Again, as I say, I don't normally have very much. And I also had come in my July-August Fabric of the Month from Sparklies. At the moment, it's bi-monthly, because she's got a lot going on in her life. And she's just not got the time to dye every month at the moment. So, but I think that's a gorgeous, gorgeous colour. Lovely neutrally colour. I get the 32 count opal even weave every month. So, and I've just had the invoice for the next one. So, haul. Now, I took birthday money with me. My partner struggles to know what to buy me for my birthday. And to be fair, he asks me what I want, and I'm going, I don't know. So he gives me money, which I then buy what I want when I want. So with the birthday money I had with me, I bought this. Now I have wanted to do this. I've been looking for this for quite a while, and every time I've sort of thought, oh, I can afford that, let's have a look, nowhere's had it in stock. So when I saw this at Create Nostalgia, I jumped on it. So I don't know when I'm going to get to start it, but I've got it now and I'm happy. So fabric wise, after some umming and ahhing, I went for this, which is a Zweigart, and it's called Clotted Cream, which is a nod to my heritage as well, because my dad was Cornish, so I couldn't not get clotted cream. And I've chosen a water lily to do it in. This is Mediterranean. Now, in theory, one skein should be plenty for it, but me being me, I bought two just to play safe, because it tells you that you need 3 10 yards or 5 to 6 of the 5 yards, which is 30 yards. This is 12 stranded, and it's 12 ply, 6 yards, so that should be 36 yards, so that should be more than enough. But like I say, I'd rather buy 2 and have lots left over than buy 1 and run out. I do have another skein of Mediterranean in my stash, but it's been there for donkey's years, like most things in my stash, and it's not the same dye lot. So what else did I get? Well, as we'd all paid up when we were stood chatting, and we went to look at something, and I spotted, this giant pin, and I'm like, oh, I've no idea what I'm going to do. Actually, it'll probably end up just sitting in my flower frog back there, look there. Can't bend your arm back that far. There. So, isn't that fabulous. Just a giant pin. I've got no idea what I'm going to do with it, but it was like, I've got to have that. So it came home with me. There was 2 left, so Jeanette had the other one. I bought a piece of Tilda fabric that was on sale because, you know, sunflower-ish. And I do English paper piecing, so that's what that'll probably end up getting used for. Doing a bit of fussy cutting for some of these. Getting them in the centre. I also got... Oh, hello. Talking to the cat. One of the cats. Lizzy, the mad one. I'm sure you'll get to meet her at some point, but we've had her nearly a year now. And when I got her, she was found on the 2nd of August, I think it was, with her eyes and her ears open. So she was born 10 to 14 days before that. We got her beginning of October. And she would fit on the palm of my hand. Now I've only got little hands. She weighed less than 500 grams. She should have been well over a kilo. I think if we hadn't have taken her when we did, then she wouldn't have survived much longer. But she's an idiot. So anyway, back to the haul. So one of the projects that Jeanette and I have lined up is Winter Bear from Nora Corbett. Got all the threads, got the silk. What I didn't have was the little star that goes on him. So we got the little star. We both got the little star. So that goes on it. And even though I'm a beader, I don't actually have many bugle beads. So I've got the bugle beads to go with it as well. There's also some red bicones, but I've got them. And the Krynic that's needed. Now, we've ended up with number 8 by mistake instead of number 4. So I'll give it a go. If it doesn't work out, if it doesn't look right, then I'll just buy some number 4 and that can go in my stash. I then got... It's been so long since I've bought fabric because I've just not needed to. I've got so much. But I thought, do you know what? I'm just going to get a bit of fabric. So things like this, vintage sand. These weren't around last time I bought fabric. It was just plain colours. So I got a little piece. This is a 10 by 8 piece of 32 count. It's not showing you very well. Put my board behind it, see if that helps. There we go. I don't want to take them out of the bag. Just for reference for me. Had I not found the clotted cream, that may well have been a candidate for the Study in Blue. Like I say, it's just for me for reference more than anything. I then got a little piece of vintage stone grey. Again, for reference for me. And a little piece of vintage sky. Again, for me, for reference. You know, if I want to kit something up, I can do a floss toss and go, yeah, that works. And then I can order a bigger piece. And then I got myself a piece of 36 count linen. Because I don't have a lot of 36 count linen, which is a shame because I love stitching on it. But I don't have much of it. So there we go. And then I got myself a Puntini. Sunflowers make me happy, which they do. So that'll be hopefully on my stitch soon list. Probably not, but there we go. And then I got my, well, actually, no. I didn't buy this. Because I take Jeanette down, she insists on treating me. And she gives me fuel money as well. I'd be quite happy with just the fuel money, but she insists on treating me. So there was a basket on the floor with ones that hadn't been put out yet or on the website. I came across that. So the 2 copies that they had, we had. So I like the day version. There is a night version as well. which I've hidden with the threads. So we're going to do it. We're both going to stitch this. Now there's the night version. I'm not so keen on that. It's that. Now it calls for 5 skeins of Weeks Dye Works Seafoam for the skirt. They didn't have seafoam in. It was out of stock. So we both had a route around all the different colourways, all the different threads, and I settled on that. So my skirt is going to be done in classic Colourworks, really, really tealy. So I got my 5 skeins of really tealy. I just love the colour. I think it's lovely. So that's going to be my skirt. So I will gradually kit it up. Some of the other ones, there's a good chance I've got at least partial skeins. I don't worry too much if something like this that calls for 2 skeins of Pelican Grey. I don't worry about it too much if I've got 2 different skeins, because I can't remember, but I'm going to guess that the lettering's done in it and then there's other little bits and pieces. Well, it doesn't matter if, say, the scissor handles are done in the same thing, but it's a slightly different shade to that. It doesn't bother me if it's a slightly... I don't need to spend, what, £4 to £5 on 2 skeins of thread that might already have in my stash that I can use, and it doesn't bother me if they're slightly different. It's not the end of the world. It's only a little smidgen of a difference. And the last thing I bought was still Queen of the Needle, Just Nan 2019 limited edition. Sorry, special edition. Now, I love it, but it won't be on pink. Absolutely will it not be stitched on pink. I don't do pink at all. I've been invited to a Wear It Pink party for breast cancer researching next month. You have to wear pink, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to Cheshire House next week. I'll buy a pink scrunchie in Claire's and I'll wear that. It's pink, and then I'll give it to my daughter because she doesn't mind pink. My youngest daughter, my oldest one's like me, can't stand pink. So I've got that to do, and then I bought the little mouse to go with it. Again, it's not going to get done on pink. Don't know what it'll be done on, but it won't be pink. And then my last bit of haul, I was walking home from town the other day. I walked past a curtain place, and I've seen these for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks, and kept thinking, do you know what? I might get them. So I bought 2 different ones, sample books. They were only £3 each, but look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? I thought, you know what? That would make, some of those would make beautiful backings. Maybe not so much these ones, but you know, even so, still, they would make nice backings. But you know, those ones at the back, and I'm like, do you know what? For £3, and look at that. I love them ones, those spotty ones. I think they're fabulous. Look at that. So I thought, you know what? For £3, I'm going to have that. And so basically, this is a small sampling of each pattern, basically. So I got those. I got that one. And I asked her if she had any velvet ones, and she said no, not at the moment. But I think it was £3. Ideal, absolutely ideal. So this is the other one I bought. Now some of these, this one's bigger, so it's a bit more awkward. There we go. Ooh. So like that one, I'll probably never ever use that. That will probably end up being taken out and put in the rag bag for the local hospice charity shop. In case you don't know, most charity shops will have a rag man So anything that, so things like old socks that you've worn through, or knickers where the elastic has gone, put them in a bag, take them to your local charity shop and hand them in, because they get paid by weight for rags. And it's ideal. It's a good way. They're not going to landfill, and you're helping out your chosen charity. Mine is my local hospice shop. Everything goes to the local hospice shop. So that's what big patterns like that will get used for. This one's quite big. So I've got that one. Again, I think that's just lovely. We've got that. We've got that. And then we've got just a little plain one. And then we go on to the next colour. So for £3, I thought, you know what? I'm going to have them. £3. Can't beat £3, can you? So she's taken my name and number in case she gets any velvet ones. She'll give me a ring, because she was telling me the girl upstairs that makes curtains sometimes will go, I can't use this, it's too stretchy. But for me, for little things, it'd be ideal. Right, so quick life update. I have some form of arthritis in this hand. Don't know what it is. Probably never know what it is. Well, if they know what it is, they aren't telling me. But don't know what causes it. And basically it means that I can't make a fist. My fingers won't do that. No, this is the best they've been for a long time. If I do, we got some stuff out the loft the other week, and within 10 minutes my hand was swollen and I couldn't use it. I spent my minutes there like that. So I went to see specialist nurses at the rheumatology clinic, and I have been put on immunosuppressant drugs, because the form of arthritis that I've got basically means that my body is attacking itself. So I'm known. So like I say, major life change, being put on immunosuppressants. It is what it is. Side effects so far, low grade headache. I only started them on Friday night. I've just had a constant sort of background, low grade, niggly toothache kind of headache. Not bad enough to stop me from doing anything, just enough to for it to go, yoo-hoo, poke, poke, I'm here. I can deal with that. So there we go. That's sort of the major life update. So there's going to be a big change. I'm going to have to be more careful. I'm going to have to carry a mask with me all times. If I go somewhere and someone's got a cold, I've got to sit as far away from them as possible. Little things like that. It's just going to take some adjusting to, but I'll get there. So, lastly, I should have done that first actually before I did the life update, but never mind. Giveaway. Let me just get me. Oh, pardon me. When I finish this, the key tassel, that one. No, don't put it behind it, you can't see it. So there we go. When I finished that, I realised that there is enough of the beads left to do it again. So there's your bugles that you use in your tassel and your main bit, and your 2 colours of seed beads. That's your A, that's your B. But you could switch around and the other way around if you wanted to. So I am going to give away this. Now it does not have the other beads. It doesn't have the 3mm. It doesn't have the 3mm rounds. It doesn't have the 12mm faceted. It doesn't have the 6mm. None of that. Just the basic beads. But if you're a stitcher, the chances are you've got leftover Mill Hill bits and pieces, or they're easy to get hold of. You can always go to Spellbound and order them from Spellbound. They're really helpful. They can help you out with that. This is a very old kit. They're no longer at that address. They moved 2 doors up. So your needle's in there, and I've put a reel of thread in. So I'm going to give that away because I'm never going to make another one. It took me long enough to get around to doing this one. So if you would like to win this, put the word Morocco in your comment. I was going to say tassel, but the chances are somebody's going to go, oh, I love your tassel, and not actually want to enter it. So there we go. Put Morocco in your comment, and please be a subscriber. I will check. And I will draw it in time for my next video, which I've got a feeling my partner is off on his long weekend when the next one would be due in 2 weeks. If that is the case, then it will either be the Friday before or it'll be the following week. It'll be the Thursday or the Friday the following week. I'd rather do it sooner rather than later, but we'll see how we go, but I'll let you know. So there we go. So thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. I'm quite pleased actually with the amount that I've had just from my first one. 600 and something subscriber, no, get it right way around, 600 and something views. I wrote it down last night. As of last night, there we go. 662 views and 84 subscribers, which I think for a first video is not bad really. Quite pleased with that. So you never know, might make it to 100 by the time people have watched this one. Anyway, now I'm waffling again now. So look after yourselves. I'll see you in a couple of weeks, give or take. Happy stitching. Bye.